and we'll rock and roll.
Cool.
All right, it's Mike Fisher, TJ Barker with the Success Series. Got good friend Dan Keller from Washington today. We've been watching him rock it out for a while now.
Long time.
Yeah, very honored to be a Facebook friend of his. We haven't spent a lot of time, and this is one of the a few times Dan and I have spent a ton of time face to face. But I know that Dan mentors many loan officers on the West Coast. I know he's been deep in coaching and training circles and brand building and branch building and all that kind of stuff. We really respect the way Dan runs his business, and he's volunteered some of his time to share some of his growth tips, some of his weekly and daily success tips, and hopefully give you guys some inspiration, momentum, and some roadmap pieces that you can take away from watching this. So thanks again for your time, Dan.
Oh, man. Thanks, TJ and Michael. Huge honor. And like I told you guys a minute ago, I mean, this is I love being a part of the MFBALO group. And this is just the least I can do to give back, pay my dues to everything I've learned from you guys. So thank you.
We appreciate it, man. Something that flag behind you, if I remember correctly, you've had that since like 2009. And you did a video on implementing e-property sites.
Yeah.
If I remember that video, man. That's how long I've been watching your career. So I really appreciate you taking some time with us.
That was year one, man. First year. My wife actually made that flag for me for our second wedding anniversary. And so it's traveled. It's been in 3 different offices of mine. So, yeah, it's a staple. I try to use it as a backdrop in all my videos. Love my country, and I love baseball.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, cool. Well, Fish, why don't you go ahead and start this off, man, because I know you guys have been talking a little bit and you have an idea of what you want to do. And I'll do my normal, just sit here and look good and jump in when I think it's convenient.
Cool. Well, I told Dan we keep it kind of open-ended. And just like you, I've been watching Dan a little bit more in the last year. In fact, I think I went – Dan, and watched a bunch of your YouTube videos on file process because, they're all kind of categorized. I saw a couple of them and I said, man, I got to go watch all these. And, just the way that you've built your teams and your process so that you essentially are duplicating the way you want a perfect file to go from beginning to end, to me is really impressive. So that's probably the first thing I want to ask you is what went into building your process? I mean, how did you get to the point where you can trust your team to just run things while you're out and about teaching and marketing?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing, I'll give a real quick overview of who I am and where I'm at. So started in the mortgage industry in 2008, end of 2008, kind of interned and was released to the wild in 2009. And you all know that was a tough year to probably start in mortgage, but a tough year to be in mortgage. And so, right out of the gate, man, my background is coaching and being a professor, coaching college baseball and teaching at the university level. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to teach. I wanted to teach about the mortgage process. I wanted to help educate people. And what I found right away was that mortgage loan officers, or the mortgage industry in general, was very poor at teaching. It was turn and burn. It was, just like the big banks and credit unions and online lenders. It was they get the name, run the app, you're approved, go shop. And so I started doing things a little bit differently right away. It got to the point where, and trust me, I made a ton of mistakes in 2009 through probably 11 and 12. Went out hustling right away, meeting real estate agents, and blew up a bunch of deals. So a lot of those agents that I initially started working with fired me, and I had an awakening in 2012. And it was that was right around the time where we had to, control our own disclosures, and really there was a lot of weight put back on our plate. So I went out and I hired my first assistant, and I still, even though I had an assistant do disclosures, but I still managed everything. I was doing everything from start to finish, and I was taking the phone calls at 10 o'clock at night and getting the real estate agents calling me at 8 or 9 o'clock at night the day before funding because we were going to close late. And so it took me a few more years of just meeting great people like you and coaching. I've had 3 or 4 different coaches over my career to really fine tune what being a professional mortgage loan officer looks like. And the second tier to that was I was making good money in 2011 and 2012, but a light went off in my head that I can really scale this thing. Instead of going from 6 to 8 units a month, because our compensation was fixed at that time pretty much. Now it was just straight comp, whatever your bank was paying, you're paying. So I was like, you know what? At 125 basis points, I'm doing 5 to 6 units, but what if I could get that to 10? What if I could get that to 15 to 20 and so on? And so I really started to learn how to build out a team. And I think one of the mistakes I made early on, you guys, is I just had lesser qualified people in high qualified roles. Meaning today I've got two upfront loan partners, and I have a back end loan partner. And one of my upfront loan partners and my back end loan partner will make and do make over 6 figures a year working for me. And then I have a processor that'll make 6. So I've got 3 employees, four on staff, but 3 out of the 4 will make over 6 figures just simply managing my pipeline.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah. And I'm not saying that to brag. I mean, I think it's nice. I think it's great, but I'm saying that to let you know that in order to make 6 figures, in the ops side of the mortgage industry, you got to be damn good. So my loan partner 2, which is my contract to close loan partner, dude, he's a 15-year veteran. Like I'm a 7-year veteran, going on 8, right? Or 8 or 9. 15-year veteran of the industry, knows his stuff. The guy could be an underwriter if he wanted to. My upfront loan partner is a 4-year veteran, but he was a former sales manager at one of the top car dealerships here in Seattle for 13 years. So he gets people, he gets service, and I just taught him how to do loan intake. So I think the biggest message initially, you guys, is getting the right people in the right roles, and then us as leaders telling them exactly what we expect out of them. Here's what you do. There's no, hey, I've got, and I can upload these for you guys to send out to the community, but I have a loan partner 1 job description. This is exactly what you do on every single file. Loan partner 2, this is exactly what you do on every file. And then I've got my wow, this is probably, I really gained traction in my business at the end of 2015 when I built this out, but my wow checklist. So my admin loan partner manages my wow checklist, and we gift 5 times throughout the transaction. We're sending out a handwritten note card to the seller, a packet to the listing agent. I mean, we're going nuts, going crazy in regards to marketing once we get that pre-approved buyer, and then once we get into contract. And so just systems, man, just building out the systems. I think that's first and foremost. You need to understand that it's super structured. Yep.
What's funny is pretty much every time we get someone of your caliber, your level, every single one of them, maybe it's a different approach, but it's the same theme, right?
Yep.
It's having the right people in the right places.
Yep.
And it's building out a system that does not change.
Yep.
You are always going from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 28, whatever it might be.
Yep.
But that's how you build that brand. That's how you build that consistency. And like something like this, you're gifting 5 times throughout a transaction. My guess is, I always use the analogy if, we picked you up, kidnapped you, and dropped you in the middle of Baltimore, which is a completely different world. That's my world. Fish was just here and he ran out crying. He thought Detroit was tough until he hung out in Baltimore for a few days. But you could get 4 or 5, if you got 4 or 5 transactions right off the bat, built off that gift giving and the reputation that you got in your systems, you would be able to multiply that. I don't want to say immediately, but pretty damn quick.
Yeah. When I'm talking to realtors too about, how we work and who we are, I let them know that I don't take this the wrong way, but we're robots, meaning you're going to get the same thing. You're going to get the same Tuesday update, the same Friday update email. You're going to get the same thank you card every time you refer someone over, with a lotto card in there that says, we're lucky to be your lender. We send that out to everyone. So we stay, in compliance. So we send it out to the borrower. We send it out to our agent, and the thing that a lot of our agents say is like, damn, you guys are structured, the most structured loan officer team or loan officer that we've ever seen. It's the same thing, the call, the pre-funding call. So, and that's all in that wow checklist. I'll send that to you guys. But I think that's super, super important. I think that we lack that, man. I think realtors lack it. We lack it as a industry as a whole. So when you actually can show that and do that and put your money where your mouth is, you stand out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, we'd love to see that checklist. And Fish and I think I'll speak for Fish on this one, but we do lack that as an industry, right? So, oftentimes, those of us that are great salespeople that can talk fast and communicate with people and connect with people immediately get bumped up into those sales management roles.
Yeah.
But the best salespeople aren't necessarily the best managers Best managers aren't necessarily the best salespeople. Again, going back to your point of putting the right people in the right place to match their personality, their skill set, I think that's huge.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a conveyor belt, you guys. And so I'll give you kind of an idea if you're listening to kind of where we're at production-wise. So at the end of September, so this is airing in October of 2017, at the end of September, we were at 67 million in production. We'll probably hit about 80 to 90 this year. And it's the same thing. You don't get to that level of production without literally your systems being a conveyor belt. When the file comes in, and I'm telling you what, too, from a hiring standpoint, as you continue to grow your mortgage practice, employees want consistency. They don't want chaos. I mean, they want to know, hey, I've got a job, here's a file, and this is what I need to do on this file. Yeah, some files are tougher than others, but for the most part, here's your job, do it. And believe it or not, they love that.
What's your approximate average loan amount, would you say?
Yeah, $483,000 right now is our current year-to-date average loan amount.
So, we have 90 million approximately.
Are you hiring, by the way?
Right. Like, I mean,
relocation package?
Move out there. So you're looking at about 190 units.
Yeah.
For the year. And how many active originators do you have?
Me.
190 by one man.
Yeah. And I'm not one of those loan officers that, there's a lot. I work for Guild Mortgage, and there's, a handful of loan officers at Guild Mortgage that have 5, 6, 7 loan officers under them, and all the 1003s go in their name. No, I'm the only person selling right now. Now, I am a branch manager, so and this is just my personal volume that we're talking about, but I do have 6 loan officers at our branch.
Right, but the 190, that's Dan Keller. That's awesome, man. So approximately 15 units per month by one man running with your team, but you're not being greedy and taking it all because you're providing your team with a great living as well. That is the key to loyalty there, Dan Keller. That's huge.
The Dan Keller team has a gross domestic product to some of the northern cities in Michigan. Like, seriously, I mean,
I've never heard it. I've never heard it that way, but that's legit.
It's legit, man. You're providing great lifestyles for your family, and that's a common theme to a lot of these calls that we've had. I don't know if we shared enough of them with you. We'll try to, but not to sidetrack you, but I heard some things as you were talking that we've been mentioning in a lot of the calls we've done. And I really like the common theme that you mentioned about educating. You came from education background. You saw this lack of education in the industry. You positioned yourself as a teacher, as an authority, as an instructor. And TJ and I have been jumping up and down in our Loan Officer Acceleration Program and in the Military Mortgage Bootcamp, trying to help loan officers understand this. Can you talk a little bit about what made you, what clicked in your head, in how many different types of classes you teach, and where all this motivation came from, I guess?
Yeah. So when I was getting in the mortgage industry in 2008, and even slightly before then, when I was getting interested in finance and real estate, YouTube, I went to the internet and then I found a video or I saw someone's website and started learning. Then I got into the mortgage industry and I was like, dang, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I can sell. I can go out and meet with a real estate agent, or I can meet with a client and help present some options for refinancing your home and build rapport and earn their trust. I had no idea what I was doing. And so what I started doing, Fish, early on is I started a blog called mymortgageguy.dan.com. And that blog was started in 2000, end of 2009, I built it out. 2010, I just started committing to blogging. But what I would do, you guys, is the USDA home loan. I blog about it. That's how I learned the USDA home loan. And I used other people's information. I used the internet. And then it was about 2010, maybe 2011, YouTube. I just really started, there were some videos out there and people generating videos. Mainly it was the bigger companies, that would have videos out there. And I was like, dude, I can do this. And so then I started creating video, and then obviously just the progression of with social media then hitting, taking traction in what was that, 2013, 2012, whenever that was. So all I do now, you see it, you guys follow me on social. I do 1 to 2 videos a week. They're typically 2 to 3 minutes, and I share them. And now I'm the guy in the Seattle marketplace. And now with Facebook ads, you know, and targeting, and I need to get better at that and learn more about that. But my goal by 2020, is that TJ? Okay, I'm hooking up with you, brother. By 2020, I want every realtor in Seattle to know who I am. You don't have to do business with me, but you're going to know who I am. And
awesome.
So, you know, that's just, I think that's kind of the progression of just by helping me, teaching me the industry, I then, by creating that content, it helped me learn. But then by default, it's content, man, and it's all over the internet now. And now today, it's now I have systems around it. So, hey, when a client gets pre-approved, instead of just sending them an email with a pre-approval letter, hey, it's that video, what to expect next now that you're pre-approved. You know, you get mutual acceptance, what to expect next now that you have mutual acceptance. We send out 4 videos throughout the process. And then in addition to that, they get my weekly market updates and other videos. But you guys, I mean, it cuts down the phone calls into my office. So we're more productive. The stupid phone calls, like, hey, you know, hey, do we order the appraisal? No.
Right.
You saw it in the video. We do that, you know? So just little things like that, you guys. So to kind of answer your question, Michael, I think the biggest thing has just been video. And if you're not doing video, you got to start doing it now. And, you know, we've got so much between our ears, you guys, as loan officers. Get it out. You know, let's get it out to the public. They need to hear what we've got to offer.
So speaking of videos and your market update, that's one thing that, I mean, I watch it all the time. And you know, what is that doing for you? I mean, are you getting in front of more clients? Is it more branding yourself amongst real estate agents at this point? Or is it both?
It's both, you know. So so I send it out to my past clients, I send it out to my pre-approvals, and I send it out to my realtors every single Saturday or Sunday. And then what I'll do right after that, it takes me about an hour and a half to do the video, edit it, and then get it out on the channels that I needed to get it out on. And then I'll run some ads to it. So, you know, one, it's helped convert leads big time. So now that they're seeing that, and you know, that week's message might be irrelevant to that person 1 week. And then 6 weeks or 8 weeks later, I touched a hot button and they're calling me and I'm getting them off the fence. And, you know, then, hey, who are you working with again? Well, I don't have an agent. Boom. I just referred a deal to an agent. So it gets shared a lot on social media. My past clients are sharing it because I ask them at the end, hey, share this with someone you know, a coworker, family member, get this information out. And the one I did on the Equifax hack, where I told you not to do what people are saying, that generated probably 13, 14 phone calls. It was a good one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what you're doing for that is you're basically taking your mortgage coach or rate watch, some of the information shared through that by Dan Rawich, I think, from Mortgage Coach, so I'm a big fan of, because Dan always thinks rates are going to get better. That's why I'm such a big fan of him. He's always like, don't worry, the economy sucks. Rates want to get better. I'm like, okay, Dan, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
So you're not going out there and spending all this time researching candlestick charts and, and what's moving here. You're taking information that's already provided to you. You're recreating it as your own in a quick 3 to 5 minute video. You're putting your own spin on there, having your own personality in there, and just letting the magic of social media get out there and get your people.
Yeah, letting the magic of social media do its thing. Here's the thing, guys. I learned a long time ago that I don't know a lot about the candlestick. I don't know about trading and financial planning and stocks and bonds. Dude, the wrong person, if that information in the hands of the wrong person calling me out on social media or asking me a question about it can make me look super silly. So I listen to Dan Rawich and Barry Abib, the two of them. I get both the MMG. I get both of those every morning. I that's kind of that keeps me in tune with the market. And so I'll take that. And guys, this is advice that we're giving to clients every day anyways. And so at the end of the week, I just kind of summarize it. It's top of mind, summarize the week ahead, and I keep it as simple as possible. Because, the last thing I want is a financial planner listening to me going, hey, well, what do you think about this? And be like, well, what do you mean? Anyhow.
Cool. All right, we're running low on time, Fish. Let's get 2 more questions in here for Dan. Let's respect his time because, like you said, he's got to go teach some agents and generate some more business. So what else do you have from Mr. Keller?
Totally got it, man. Well, I really like how he mentioned, his goal is to build his face and his brand throughout the area. I guess the question I would have to follow up on that is, okay, so let's say that you build your brand, what's your plan beyond that? Do you reach out to, I know you got all this marketing out there, but do you handpick who you want to work with and reach out to specific agents for meetings and things like that as well? Or, what follows up after you've built this large community of people that see your process and see your systems, and how do you actually, close some of those larger clients on working with you as referral partners?
Yeah, very, very, very structured. So what I do is I'm kind of right in the middle in Seattle. Seattle's in King County, and just north of Seattle is where a lot of people that work in King County live, and that's Snohomish County. And so what I'll do is I'll print off the top 200 agents in Snohomish County, the top 200 real estate agents in King County, and then I sift through those, and I cut out the ones that are site agents that have sold 300 homes because they're site agent. But I get really specific on the agents that I'm going to market to. And then I go after them. I mean, point blank. And a lot of the times, we're in sales. I cold call all the time. Hey, you don't know me. I don't know you, but we need to know each other. I'm going to help over 200 families this year. Looks like you're on pace to help over 150. Guys like me and people like you need to know each other. What do you think about grabbing coffee this weekend or this week? And so, I'm doing a lot of cold calling, and it's structured. It's around people that I want to work with. Hey, if we have coffee or happy hour and you're a douche, I'm not working with you. You're not going to make me look bad, and there's nothing I can do to help you be douchier. So, that's kind of my approach. It's really good to be at a place in your career where you're able to kind of pick, and where you're able to say, hey, this is how I do business. I know how much value I bring. I want to work with agents that respect that, and I want to be part of that.
I dig it, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Anything else, TJ? I know Dan's got a role. I could talk to him all day, but this is killer stuff. But
no, man. I think that, just kind of sum it up, Dan, what you've shared with people is, essentially it's a blueprint for anyone that is in this industry on what to do. Fish and I have been in the industry longer than you have, but we haven't reached your level of success. And I can tell you the difference is Fish and I, sometimes we're pretty scatterbrained about stuff. We're pretty shotgun. You are detailed. You know what you're doing, when you're doing. You just mentioned even your cold calling activities are structured.
Yep.
So you know what to do. Obviously we all know, who builds out the structure in this industry, who teaches it right there. So, definitely you're a core guy, right?
Yeah, I've been in the course since November 2014.
Yep.
Correct.
So, we got a bunch of guys, Dustin Brumley, Greg Peckman, like really good guys that are successful with it. And when we talk about the structure, that's one of the things that they do. I think one of the cool things that we see with some of the folks, some of the newer people that kind of follow that system, what they're doing is they're taking today's cutting edge information like video and Facebook lead generation and listing booster and different type of systems and utilizing that in their business to build these relationships with some of these younger agents who are all about running their business from their cell phone and text messaging and everything being online and virtual. I think it's pretty awesome to say.
Yeah. It just comes down to structure. Do what you do best. I suck at processing loans. I suck at guidelines. There's some loan officers out there that would just work me over if we were talking about loan guidelines and loans. I know enough to be dangerous. I know my product. But hey, at the end of the day, I don't need to know the guidelines inside and out. One wall over, I got a guy that would school anybody in this industry on guidelines.
Right.
He's my right-hand man. I pay him a crap ton of money. Take care of it for me, right? But I do know that I'm really good at building relationships. I'm really good at teaching. I'm really good at educating, breaking down and simplifying the market. So I know what I'm good at, and I go out and do that every single day centered around that. Now as a branch manager, my job is to do the same around here with the loan reps. Hey, you've got a gap right here in your systems. Let's fill that. Let's fix it, and let's get you out doing what you need to do. Loan reps, our job is to lead generate, right? Prospect every single day, bring loans in, build structure around building out that conveyor belt to get that loan then from lead to closing.
So awesome, man. Hey, we appreciate your time. Fish, you want to go ahead and wrap it up here, buddy?
Yeah, man. Well, likewise, we totally appreciate your time. I like how many of the things you've talked about, we've had on previous calls. We've talked to other LOs about. But I think the big difference here is your attention in laser focus to the detail and to finding the right people. I know there's many folks in our circles that are constantly asking us questions. There are 40 or 50 questions that have come in to me over the last 6 to 12 months could be answered just by watching this video. Quite simply, I think if anybody just plugged in and did a little bit more of what you did, they couldn't help but find more success. So we truly appreciate you sharing this with us.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything you guys do. It's an honor to be here and to give back to the community. So if you're local up here in Seattle and you're watching this, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to connect. And then I'm gonna hit you guys up. I love what you guys are doing with your military mortgage boot camp. Is that what that is? Mm-hmm. Love it, dude. Love it. So we'll see you guys around, I'm sure, in real life one day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Next event we hold, next MFBA event, we'll make sure you get an invitation.
Cool, man. Thank you.
All right, Dan. Thanks.
All right.